Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your weekly reading with me. I'm back with the weeklies. I hope you guys have been well, but let's dive into your reading and see how this week will be. So, as I've been doing lately, I did pull you out an animal spirit of who's going to guide you during this time. So, I'm just going to read it out of this book. Now, be aware, the panther is basically transformation, and what this says is the panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnate. Instead, it pounces into our lives and causes all kinds of havoc, with the ultimate intention of bringing us toward more fulfilling lives. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating, but after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they've made us better people. Trust that the panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. All right, so that is kind of bringing up a major clear out happening in your life. And sometimes maybe as I'm reading that, you can think about situations in your life where it felt like everything was falling apart, but in reality, you realize it got rid of things that were really unnecessary in your life and maybe was bringing in more chaos and pain. So it feels like a little bit like you've got a spirit guide coming through during this week who is really trying to help you navigate through maybe a little bit of darkness that you might be going through right now. But let's figure it out, right? Let's figure it out. Let's see what's going on for Scorpios during this week. 20th to 26th for Scorpios. Oh, and will it be our birthday? Happy birthday, Scorpios. No wonder Panther's coming out. It's like, okay, this year is going to be your year. But first, I need to shake things up for you. All right, let's see. All right, for Scorpios, you have By the Book coming out. So this is about following the leader, right? Sometimes in life, it's great to experiment, create your own path and stuff like that. But what Spirit's saying during this time is that follow the leader. So for some of you, that could be your spirit guides who are trying to move you forward and trusting in their wisdom to guide you. So follow your instincts. But it can also mean just in life in general, it's time to stick to the status quo because that's going to get you where you want to be much faster than if you were to just experiment and go wandering about. If you can see here, the energy that's around you in your life right now is a bit deserted, meaning that there might not be a lot of good things around you or things that are really aligned to you. Opportunities, right? It just feels a little bit deserted right now, but Spirit is guiding you to where you need to go. And maybe that's happening through transformation, right? So By the Book is just saying, and this could be a really good week, by the way, for those studying or just needing to see where you're being taken, basically. It feels a little bit like surrendering. I'm just going to pull you out one more for Scorpios during this week. Going by the book. And then you have time for a nap. And it just feels like a little child in the backseat of the car and the parents are driving. I feel like the parents are your spirit guides. They know the road, so you just need to fall asleep in the back of the car, right? Just trust that you'll wake up when you're almost there, right? It's just the kind of vibe that I'm getting. Because time for a nap comes in when you are in a safe and stable position right now, or at least, you're in a place where you can rest. And that's what they're wanting you to prioritize is your rest, you taking time, really looking at your life and realizing that you where you are right now is someplace that you used to once wish for, whatever that means to you. Time for a nap. And I feel like that is a little bit like, yeah, sitting in the passenger seat for once. Whilst this panther kind of wreaks havoc in your life, but trusting that, okay, it's clearing the way. Interesting. All right, let's pull you some more. Let's see what's going on for Scorpios. Any other messages that you have for Scorpios? Quest. So this is quite important because it makes a lot of sense with the cards that are coming out here, because this is about your expression and your truth, because it's the throat chakra that's important for you guys here. So really standing in your truth, finding out what that even means. But the quest here is this lady's looking for the blue path. And she's thinking about she has to go through torrential rain and through all the seasons before she can find it. So it means a little bit here that maybe you guys have lost your focus so much you forget that you're already on the right path, right? You've already been walking all this way. Don't forget where you've come from and how far you've come from. So it makes some sense with that time for a nap, and it also makes sense with By the Book. So everything that's happened to this point, they want you to reflect on. And moving forward, they want you to know you're already on the right path. Okay, so Quest, you are where you need to be. and Spirit is guiding you where you need to go. So I feel a little bit like you can rest and relax. All right. Now you have self-worth coming through as well. And the story behind this card is that only those who believe that they are worthy, right, that they have that self-worth can see the throne. And that kind of speaks to a lot of situations in life where, you know, the most successful people are not always the ones that are super talented, but it's the ones who knew or believed that they were capable of that level of success. So this self-worth is very important in understanding that the only way we can really start to see our success is by believing that we're successful. Because there are a lot of successful people who have had success, but they don't believe, you know, they don't see it as success. You know, they're not happy with it. You know, so it's just that kind of energy. It's all perception, anyways. So self-worth, this week they really want you to work on your self-worth, especially if you feel like you need to go. I don't know. I wonder if you guys have been in self-destructive behaviors lately because you feel like you're not where you need to be. And I feel like Spirit really wants you to relax your shoulders, sorry, a little bit here, just to really be in the space that you are in the right path. And that there might be a lot of changes going on around you right now, but it's all happening to move you where you need to go next. So what they're showing me is that you're in between milestones in your life. And that's why it might be, again, a bit deserted right now because you've not really reached any big thing, or maybe nothing's really happening or going on for you, but you're moving to the next milestone. That's what I'm seeing. So working on your self-worth. So what is this? It's orange. So it's your sacral chakra. Okay. So this is really about your desires and your feelings. And of course, feeling things like self-worth as well. Okay. Let's dive into your tarot. Let's see what's going on for you guys. I'm just going to get whatever comes out. Let's see, for Scorpios, the Lovers. Ooh. So the Lovers, of course, is mostly known for it being about relationships. So there could be some significance going on there. It's also the sign of Gemini, which I'm just going to dive into in a second. But the Lovers is also a card about your choices. And that's your first card is a major. Let me just adjust. Apologies. Oh. All right, let's see. Why is the Lovers here as energy for this week? Or message this week? What is important about this card? The Two of Wands. So that's also about your choice of direction. Some of you could be questioning the future right now and wondering what choice you need to make right now, and where it might lead. So it does feel a little bit like you are weighing up a lot. But this is where I get the sense that Spirit's like, you don't need to do anything right now. I wonder why. Because you feel like you need to make a big choice. That you need to control your journey right now. Why? Why? Two of Wands and the Lovers. The Nine of Swords. There's some fears here, right? Worries about worst case scenario. Maybe there's a lot of conflict going on around you, feeling the need to control. Now, interesting, the Nine of Wands and the Five of Wands, like both of these are kind of like conflicting. The Nine of Wands could be that you might be distancing yourself from people, feeling more defensive lately. Having gone through a recent battle or conflict or argument lately. Let's figure it out. What advice do you have around this situation where Scorpio feels like they have a choice to make? The Three of Swords as advice. Well, the Three of Swords is about healing your heart. It's about addressing your pains right now. What are your pain points currently? What's breaking your heart right now? What is breaking that heart right now? Why is the Three of Swords here for Scorpio? The Death card. Okay. So this is about endings, of course. It's about transformation. That is that Panther's energy. What's come to an end? I want to see like what I can get, because from the oracles, Spirit's saying that maybe you've already made a choice. If you've already made a choice, then trust that it's the right one. Okay. And again, that you have very important spirit guides who are guiding you right now to showing you the next milestone. But this kind of part is the uncomfortable part where it's like you're sitting with your choices. The Nine of Swords, the Death card with the Three of Swords. So that might mean that some of you have recently been through some sort of loss or an ending, and Spirit wants you to kind of process that first. Okay, what's going on for Scorpios during this week? The Knight of Wands. So let's figure it out, because some of you could be going on a trip, you guys could be moving. The Knight of Wands can also be maybe some sort of adventure, a new journey in your career. The Knight of Wands is, I see like someone moving around, so it's movement. It is about optimism, adventure, and fun. So this could be something to bring into your week so it doesn't feel so heavy. I feel like I need some structure here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into that Lover's card. Why is the Lover's card here? What messages do you have behind this Lover's card for Scorpio? The Chariot reverse. So something may have come to a dead end. Or again, you're stuck at a choice and you're unable to move forward right now because you're not sure. Yeah, Eight of Swords. You feel like your hands are tied and you're not quite sure about what direction to go in. So you feel like you're in a fork in a road, basically. And what is your perspective of that, Spirit? How are you seeing this? Tower. And the Hierophant. That is a breakup. That's a divorce. It's also a change in your beliefs as well. Like this could be a really big shift in what you're committed to and what you're committing to. So that could be a job, right? Whatever it is. So it feels like the Chariot is halted. Something has come to a complete stop. And now you're questioning, where do I go from here? What choice do I make moving forward? What direction do I go in? Let's see. So let's look at the Two of Wands then. Why is the Two of Wands here? The Hanged Man. Well, I was thinking about what are your options, but the Hanged Man says that you're not moving, right? You're in a stuck position where you feel a bit stuck where you are because you don't really know how to make a choice. What are the choices, Spirit? What is that? Why is it so far away? Queen of Swords. Now, Queen of Swords could be you, right? What it feels like is placing boundaries, and it's interesting because Queen of Swords would be the one with the broken heart, so Three of Swords. And needing to be more logical with, okay, being clear. Yeah, so the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Swords. What are your choices? Truth. I'm going to let that sit with you for a minute because it's very likely you already know what direction to go in. It's just that it's very hard to move forward in that direction, probably because it feels like you have to let something go. Because Queen of Swords is about boundaries, knowing your worth, knowing your value, right? Cutting out anything that's not, being direct with you or honest with you. Ace of Swords being about truth and clarity being your options. Well, really there's only one way to go then in that way. So I wonder what you think your options are. Because Spirit's saying there's one option and it's the one that you know you need to go down because it's the one that resonates with you the most and that you know you need to do. Okay, right. Let's now move over to what other card did we have? The Nine of Swords came up next. And what's with the Nine of Swords? The Strength card. So you're fearing whether you have the strength and courage to overcome something that clearly is weighing on your mind. Well, the strength is in the upright, so of course you have the strength. It's difficult. The Three of Swords. What is the Three of Swords? Five of Pentacles. Some of you are feeling left out in the cold. Some of you feel like you're not, being given what you're deserving of. This feels a little bit, I don't know if this is about relationships. I don't know if it's about jobs, right? Whatever it is, it feels like you're not receiving back what you feel like you're deserving of. It feels a little bit like there's a lot of loss or lack being important going on right now. That could be that maybe your job's not paying you very well and it feels like, I know I'm meant for more than a life of struggle, right? I know I'm meant for more than that. So it just feels like, okay, with that being said, then the direction would be going towards something that is going to receive or give, allow you to receive what you're worthy of. So it just feels a little bit like that. And same in love too. It's almost like, okay, well, maybe the first thing that we can do is remove the thing that is not giving you what you're deserving of. But of course, Three of Swords being here, what's hurting you the most is that you, again, feel a little bit left out in the cold, maybe by someone, or that you feel like, yeah, you can see here that you're in need of support and help. Seven of Swords in reverse. Now, Seven of Swords is like usually lying, cheating, stealing. The Devil energy. Maybe you've been through that. I wouldn't say this is a prediction, so I'm not like out in anyone. But it feels more, and it's in reverse as well. So let me sit with this for a second. Because the Devil being here kind of like confirms that something is a bit dodgy. It could be breadcrumbing and things like that. It's like maybe gaslighting or manipulation. Why is the Seven of Swords reversed? Temperance and Six of Pentacles. Now, Six of Pentacles and Temperance are both about balance. And the Temperance especially is about bringing harmony to a situation. Six of Pentacles could be a pay rise for some. So what exactly is the Seven of Swords doing here over the Five of Pentacles? Maybe it's something that you've already been through. So now you're rebalancing yourself and maybe learning how to trust, or I'm going to use a different deck to clarify that. Seven of Swords. Why is this with the Five of Pentacles? Three of Wands. What can I feel with this? Three of Wands is about waiting. So maybe someone ghosted or someone just pulled their energy back and it's like, okay, when are you coming back? Even energetically, you know, like, hello? That's what it feels like. So maybe that wasn't really that kind of thing involved, but the Devil being there, the Hanged Man. I don't know what you're dealing with, who you're dealing with, but someone feels, because the Hanged Man's tied up and so are the people in the Devil card. So if I was going to mash them up together, I feel like someone's not in the right state of mind, or someone's just addicted to stagnancy. Maybe someone's just super comfortable. Maybe you want to grow. I don't know what exactly it is. It just feels a bit like there's a misalignment here. For sure. Okay. And the Death card being here, what exactly is shifting and changing in Scorpio's life? Six of Cups reverse. Moving on from the past. Letting go of the old, the comfortable. And Two of Swords. Making a decision to go through with that, right? So, I have a little message for someone out there, because I do feel like you actually, what they're showing me is that someone has a choice. You can stay in whatever this is. It feels like you would be the one that, I don't know, like that would make the move to, you know, decide that enough is enough. You don't have to do it this week, but it just feels, what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say with this? I feel like you have a choice, whether you stay where you are, where you're not really happy, or you go with this energetic transformation to where Spirit's trying to guide you. Because I feel like if you accept that Death card, it's going to lead you, and your heart, that your spirit guides are going to be moving you into a place where much more safe, much more calm, and much more, you know, of a reflection of what you give to the world, and it will come back to you, right? But if you stay where you are, right, then you're going to have the same things that you have currently, if this message is for you. But let's, I feel like, I feel like basically this week's saying that there's an energy in the air around you, in the wind around you of transformation. So things might be really reaching a peak where you're like, you know what? I have to make a choice now. Um, and kind of Spirit was saying earlier, the choice you have to make really is your truth and standing up for your truth and standing up for yourself and your journey and where you feel like you're supposed to go. And I guess in a way of not staying stuck where you are. But of course, this is a choice that we all have to make. We all have free will at the end of the day. So it's up to you, really. But Torch here says spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. So this is a major shift in your life. And maybe, not to say it's more, what if it's meant to happen like this? I don't know, because questioning that you're on the right path. What if this decision, or what if you standing up for yourself, or what if you prioritizing yourself, or accepting this transformation has a really important gift or a lesson for you? Then they're like the torch is being passed to you. I wonder if this is about breaking some like generational issues, like if your parents struggle with the same thing, you know, but you're doing something different, right? The torch is being passed to you, meaning that it's up to you now to complete the rest of the lesson or the journey. Now you have dogs, which says getting together with friends could be good for you. Like I said, I do feel like you need more fun into your life. You have flag, don't be tempted to lower your standards, which I feel like a lot of what we were saying today has a lot to do with that, especially that Panther comes up when it feels like we're stagnant for too long. You also have K and pay attention to your health. Okay, so make sure that you are looking after yourself and getting checkups where necessary. And then you have Ant, which says work, achievement, and success all happening during this week, and that's what I got for you. What a heavy reading, well, transformation tends to be, but of course, as I'm saying, you're moving in the right direction. And whatever you choose that's your truth is your truth, and it will guide you to the right places. I hope that this doesn't feel so much like a heavy read, because there's so much amazing things on the other side of it. It's just a heavy situation to have to deal with, right? But as we said, when Spirit speaks about you following your truth and your guidance and where you're being guided to go and where your purpose is or your next steps, it's going to be something great. Of course, that is just promised. But you have to remove the things that are unnecessary that are causing you to be stuck, okay? And that's all. So as it said, it's uncomfortable, but after a little while, you'll be like, I'm glad that that happened, because maybe it was a shift or a change that you wouldn't have been able to make until something like this would happen. So it's kind of that vibe, but again, I don't know what you're going through, so it's very hard to say. But that's what I got, Scorpio. I wish you all the best. I send you my love. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and that it's more uplifting than what I could bring for you guys. But yeah, I wish you well. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you enjoy these readings and these videos. But aside from all that, I will see you guys in the next one.